Excited to announce my official sponsor over the summer. That would be First Aid and Now. First Aid and Now is a family-owned business, first aid safety company that offers competitive pricing and great services. They have a wide variety of items such as AEDs, first aid kits, and all your OSHA-approved safety equipment and janitorial items. Through them, you're not just a number, you're the top priority. Call them at 573-291-9560. Again, that's 573-291-9560. And I thank him so much for the sponsorship opportunity. I'm so excited to see what we can do together over the summer. So let's get into the video. Welcome to Inside the Mink, your go-to spot for everything happening on and off the diamond all summer long. Today we have our 12th ever interview. I'm excited to introduce Gavin Gonzalez from Orlando, Florida. Went to Winter Park High School and was a Mink League rookie this year and played for the Carroll Merchants. You guys had a very solid year. Just talk about your experience of being a Carroll Merchant.
It was great. The community there is awesome. I was welcomed by so many open arms and so many just opportunities to get to know the whole city, the whole town, and all the people in it. My host family was great. They had a bunch of friends, a bunch of close neighbors, so I was able to connect with all the people around me. And everyone in the town was super engaged in baseball. So everyone was, actively asking like how you've been, how's the season going. So I just felt like I was welcomed in a place I've never been before. Coming from Florida. Going to Iowa was really far away from me. So, I was a little nervous at first, but after a week or two, I felt like right at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big adjustment with the time wise and also maybe the weather. How was that adjustment? I mean, some of those days I feel like they're 1,000 degrees in the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is really bad right now. It's coming back. It's been really hot, but there were some days, and definitely in Missouri, where I felt like it was very like just sticky and really hot. So making sure you're staying hydrated and doing all that was definitely a big part of it. But honestly, there were some days where it felt really nice too. I remember I was waking up in a couple of days where it was 60-degree weather and it was enjoyable to play in. So it was definitely nice, and it had some bads, but it had some up and downs. So.
Yeah, everyone has ups and downs throughout the year. So, kind of take us through the summer playing in Carroll, Iowa. They're I think a second, third year team in the Mink League.
Yes, I mean, I redshirted my first year of college, so I was just really coming here and getting a lot of reps and just trying to have my most amount of fun. Last year redshirting, you know, my whole purpose was to gain a lot of knowledge from all the older guys. So one guy that I really looked after was a guy named Josian Sanchez, and his big motto was just having fun on the baseball field and enjoying every single moment of it. So that's what I try to do. So coming to the summer, I just try to having fun, playing relax, and just doing my part and being the best encourager and best team I could.
Were you playing relaxed, had a lot of success offensively for your squad, and you shut off the cannon a little this summer, I want to say as well. What were some keys you kind of focused on or aspects of your game that you're like, I really want to emphasize on getting better at this certain task?
Yeah, definitely, staying gap to gap. I wanted to make sure I put a lot of backspin on the baseball and just seeing the ball, split the gap and being able to have a lot of extra base hits. Making sure I'm staying back in the ball. I've been a really big hitter of, trying to go oppo. And when I'm going oppo, things are kind of clicking better. And so I was trying to avoid, rollovers, weak pop-ups, and just having quality at bats, not chasing at bad pitches and just allowing my, hand-eye to take over.
Answers on that, and that's one the first time I ever heard work on backspin. So playing for the Carroll Merchants, you were able to hit four of the seven ballparks home runs there, and that last one coming in Carroll was a backside home run. Have you always had that power that's kind of worked to your advantage during your career?
I've kind of always thought I've had that power, and I kind of knew I've had that power, but being able to click it in game has always been a struggle. I've been able to, hit home runs pull side, but being able to really drive one oppo has been, hasn't been in my career yet. So really doing that and focusing on that and seeing it happen again at Colorado was a big, progress step for me, and it just allows me to be more relaxed and knowing that I can have the ball travel deeper and I can still, hit a home run or hit a double backside or even a triple. So it just allows me to play more relaxed and just trust that I can hit a ball that far out.
And the few games I was in your guys' dugout, you guys felt so relaxed. It felt like there was so much energy there. You guys are just chatting it up. You guys are staying locked into the game. Is that something that was throughout the entire season that kept that season so memorable?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of the time we just try playing relaxed. We have fun. The big thing that we just do is play hacky sack before every game. Just allow us to not really focus much on the game beforehand because I think baseball is one of those sports where think a lot ahead of time. You're not going to be playing as best as you can just because you're so mentally, focused on one thing. You just got to be relaxed and have fun. So I think our team definitely enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed it after the game as well. We made sure that, after a loss or after a great win, we still enjoyed the bus ride back. And I think that was a great part of the summer. It was a lot of memories on that bus.
Yeah, and what are some things you guys would do as a team, maybe on a day off or after the game you were talking about there?
So a lot of the guys, like me included, we would go play golf. I know a bunch of the guys would go over to this place called the Ranch, where it was one of our host families' houses, where it was had a nice pool, had cornhole. It was a very nice open environment, so a lot of guys would hang out there. There'd be a Mexican place we would go to, or we all would work out at Anytime Fitness. Um, there was our community pool where had like a nice slide and stuff like that. So we tried staying active together and just all being outside and having fun. But we definitely had days where we were just chilling at home and just sort of like enjoying the off day.
All right, so I recently just went golfing, and I will say it wasn't the best sight for eyes if you were stuck there watching me. But what is your strongest part of your golf game? I mean, you drive the ball very well, so is it the driver?
Yeah, definitely the driver. When it's going straight, it works. But other than that, it's my golf game's pretty awful too.
Okay, so
Yeah. If I can hit it straight, then I'll go a decent amount. But hitting it straight is the hardest part.
would that be a thing? I mean, I've heard baseball players say it kind of takes away from your baseball swing. Is that something that it doesn't really affect you at all?
No, not really. I mean, I don't really try thinking of it as like, oh, I'm gonna mess up my swing if I play golf. I kind of just, have fun. I do it with my dad a lot, so that's something that me and him, have a good bond over. So I don't really think about baseball when playing golf. I kind of just go and have fun, but I haven't seen it to be affecting my swing at all in
Okay.
baseball.
And Earl, you guys are unfortunately had to travel for majority of that month of June. How did that kind of take a toll on your body, and what were some extra things you might have had to do? Say you traveled to Jefferson City to maybe get a little extra loose.
Yeah, that stretch was pretty rough, and that was a time where I was trying, I guess, do too much as a hitter. I had a little 5 game, 6 game stretch where I was pulling off a lot and just not trusting my body. And I think one, that was because I was trying to do too much. And two, it was just that's a long stretch. We had, I think it was 14 games in 15 days and something like that. And traveling a lot and having low energy, sometimes it just, you want to muscle up rather than just allow your whole body to work. But driving that much wasn't that bad. Sometimes, it'd get boring, but I made sure I was still stretching. I would sometimes bring like a heating pad or my massaging like leg boots and stuff like that, just trying to stay as loose as possible. But really gaining more sleep on the bus as well allowed you to kind of push through the games and then getting back home and resting and getting as much sleep as you can. That was kind of what kept our bodies healthy.
Well, I mean, there's very different ways to do that, and so do you like use Normatec? Is that what you were talking about for that leg massage thing, or
Yeah, it's called HVAC. It's
okay,
it's
HVAC.
really nice. You just plug it in and massages all parts of your legs. If you want, there's like a little cooling pad on your knees. It really works. I the last game of Sedalia where I had that hamstring problem.
Hmm.
Going up to Jeff City that day, I used it a lot and the heating pad a lot, just making sure that I kept my hamstring as loose as possible before playing.
And obviously, the season did not end the way you guys wanted. But looking back on this season, you guys performed in great aspects of pitching, defense, hitting. What was some of your favorite memories playing in Merchants Park and then playing with the Merchants?
Favorite memory was definitely probably the Grand Slam at home. I was talking to you earlier about how I wanted to hit one at home, just in front of everyone, and especially my host family, going out and doing that for them, and rounding the bases and seeing them cheering me on and stuff like that. It really allowed me to feel welcome as like a family member, and that really made me happy inside and whatnot. But there's a couple games against St. Joe. We played really well at St. Joe. We had a good pitching day. That was the game where I actually couldn't play. I got ejected at Jeff City beforehand, so I was ended up just being a cheerleader in the crowd, which I wanted to always kind of get ejected, not in a bad way, but it's always like a check mark to do. Um, so being able there and cheering on my team, it was fun, and being able to see like their reactions and just having a good time. It was nice.
And won that series, and then you guys won that game in St. Joe, so maybe it kind of
Yeah.
sparked the guys.
Yeah, some of the guys were saying that I'm the reason why we won that game. So I was just cheerleading. So I was hoping that we won the next game with me playing, so I wouldn't have to sit the bench anymore. But
Yeah, you were able to drive one well over that right field wall. What would you say the farthest hit ball you hit this summer was at?
hmm, that one at Jeff City is probably the furthest. The one at Clarinda backside was pretty far as well. I hit it more towards the center field wall backside, but I would say probably the Jeff.
So now we're gonna go in the only segment I have on this show. It's called the rundown. You have 30 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. Walk-up song.
My song "Titi Mi Bruguto" by Bad Bunny.
Favorite MLB player growing up.
Derek Jeter.
A post-game snack of yours.
Ooh, Charlie's The Ring Peach Rings.
Favorite baseball movie.
Sandlot.
A home run or diving catch.
Home run.
Batting gloves.
Batting gloves, yes. Oh, Stinger Nukes.
Okay. Superstitious at all?
No, just routine.
Memory I say this year, I guess.
Hitting the grand slam at home.
And then can you walk us through a daily pregame thing you did?
Reading my Bible every day. In the morning, I enjoyed eating my breakfast outside, just taking time to take time for myself and just really appreciating what I have in front of me.
Well, that's all. Well, that's awesome. That was a very good answer for the last question.
Yes, sir.
So have you always been sort of religious in your background and transitioning that into your game?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was always going to church and stuff like that, but I would say I really dove into the Bible and getting to know God my senior year of high school. High school baseball was never the best for me. I always had ups and downs, but then going into my senior year summer, I was just like, I really need to dive into this. I need to understand, what life is all about. So I incorporated in everything, and baseball has been one of the reasons why it's grown so much because I've had such a great environment and family surrounding me. And my school does a great job of, talking about how at the end of the day, it's not for mankind, it's for the glory of God. So being able to do that and play for him every day has been something that I just have a really passion towards doing.
And it was very cool. I'm a Christian as well, going around to all these games, and you see every team basically doing a prayer circle before each and every game. Is that
Yeah.
something that you guys do in the spring as well with your college?
Yeah, we do all the time. We do it before game, after game. Our team, our head coach is a great leader in Christ.
Okay, so now looking back on your year and your campaign as a Carroll merchant, what would some be advice you'd give to someone that might be making their way to Iowa next summer to go play for the Merchants?
Yeah, I would just say have fun. The community is great. Everyone's super supporting and just really be appreciative of what you have in front of you because, traveling throughout the whole Midwest, I would say Carroll is a great spot to be at. You got a lot of stuff to do and a lot of people to know. So I would say get to know everyone as much as you can and just appreciate what you have in front of you. Help out as much as you can. Help your host families out. Because at the end of the day, without them, I wouldn't be in the Midwest. I wouldn't be playing summer ball. So I would just say spend time with them and really get to know them because that's a family member that you can have throughout your whole rest of life.
Next spring, what are you looking forward to there after your redshirt year?
Being able to compete again, really competing on the field, getting my opportunity to go play and make my mark. Rekindling with all the guys back at Erskine, just being able to hang out with them and really get to know all the new people coming in. Just say being able to get back after it though. I mean, I'm a competitor and I can't wait to go play again. I'm already missing playing summer ball and I'm already, anticipating the school year.
Okay, so you're a no days off guy. Have you always done like a year-round baseball, or when you were younger, did you play a lot of other sports?
Baseball's always been the main one. I played flag football if you want to count that, but not really. But baseball's always been my main thing and I've always enjoyed it a lot. But it was always, yeah, year round, played fall ball, summer ball, and then spring.
Okay. And then how'd you kind of like manage maybe lifting, getting extra work in during the season? Obviously, it's very draining. I mean, you're riding 6 hours, and some days you're playing back to back to back at home.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to do it. It's going to suck some days, but you just got to push through and just keep going. There was definitely days where I walked into the gym dreading it. I really sometimes just didn't want to work out, but at the end of the day, I lifted and I felt good after it. So, even if it's just a lighter workout, being able to keep your body healthy and flowing is just always the most important part, especially being able to get some strength going into the fall, which is like the main, powerlifting. So I was just working towards that and making sure I stayed healthy to avoid injury.
Hmm. So what does your schedule look like this fall? Like, are you guys competing a lot, doing a lot of I'd say defensive, offensive work?
Yeah, so we usually start off doing, individualized training in the beginning of the fall. And then towards more of like the middle, we work towards scrimmages and then playing outside opponents, working in the weight room a lot. And then we work towards the spring doing like a fall World Series within like our team. So we'll divide up in two teams and then play a best of three series. So it's a lot of fun being able to compete with the guys, just being able to get out there.
And then what was your recruiting process like?
Into my junior year, it was a pretty good summer. I would say I had a lot of ups and downs. The fortunate part was my ups, I had people looking at me. And so after playing a game, I had a text from Erskine, and then I had a text from a school called FSCJ, which a couple of the guys on our team from Cara were there. Um, so I talked with both of them, had interest in both of them, able to talk with them and kind of pick their brains and pick what the school's about. At the end of the day, Erskine, they had a great program. They have a great program. They're known for hitting, which that's what I was going into. So I was really pumped about being able to, be a hitter there and really contributing. So, I like the process there, the process of knowing that our head coach, our staff is godly men and they want the best for you. So having people like back you up and supporting you is always a big thing. But yeah, committing there was pretty easy. It was a good process.
And then how'd you get to Carroll? I mean, there's not too many guys I want to say with that direct connection from Florida to Carroll. I know there's a little thing from California to Clarinda.
Yeah, so our pitching coach, he's got a lot of connections with everyone. So he met up in the office and he was like, "Where do you want to play?" And I was like, "Well, I would love to play in Florida, the Carolinas, maybe somewhere in the Southeast." And he was like, "Well, what about Carroll?" And I was like, "In Iowa?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I mean, why not?" And I was like, that wasn't the first thing I had in mind, but I've always kind of liked traveling and, getting a little bit of distance from Florida. So I was like, I might as well, flock my wings and fly a little bit and try it out. And I had a great experience. That's why I always tell people, get away from home a little bit. You're going to meet new people and you're going to see a whole new part of God's land. So it was a great opportunity and I have no regrets going.
Well, it's just always crazy to see here have people get the connections to the Mink League. I mean, it's you have players all over. You guys had a couple people from out of the country. How
Yeah.
was that kind of meshing everyone's kind of backgrounds together and getting to meet new people?
It was great. I mean, like you said, we had people from all over the world, so I was able to meet a lot of people from, New York, Canada, a couple of people from DR and Puerto Rico. So being able to like talk about baseball in their countries or in their, cities and whatnot, it was really great to know and see that everyone's just coming here to play summer ball and have fun. That's why we're all the same at the end of the day, just trying to have a good time and just appreciate what we have in front of us.
Well, thank you for taking your time to interview with me on Inside the Mink. Any last words you have before we wrap this up?
Just be appreciative every single day. Devote your days to the Lord and just be really, lucky and be really appreciative of what you have because at the end of the day, Lord, you're working everything for God and every day is a blessing. You're breathing, it's a blessing. Being able to play baseball is a blessing. So I would just say be appreciative of everything you have in front of you.
Well, that is the perfect note to end this interview on. I appreciate you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe as the Mink Marathon is kind of in its final sprint, still wrapping up some posting interviews. And without further ado, thank you guys for listening.